Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I was trying to think of something to share today, and I found myself in the past week or so running up against a mind that was that is complacent and kind of bored, sprinkled with a little bit of nitpicking and complaining. So I decided that I was going to give myself, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I was going to give myself a Dharma pep talk today. So this is kind of what's been going on. I'll see if I can do a little bit of a facsimile. Oh, it's Tuesday. Okay, we've got NBC. Oh, and then we have Jeffrey tonight at 6, Skyping from Taiwan on Dependent Arising. God, I cannot believe somebody put the pitcher back with hardly any orange juice left in the pitcher. Oh, and let's see, we've got monastic training tomorrow afternoon. We've got Rosie practice, and man, rice again. I can't believe it. And it's raining yet for the 5th day in a row. I have had this mind going on for about 3 weeks. Nobody's known though, I've been hiding it. And so I wanted to, because today is like, well, today is for me is a physical manifestation of what we try to do at the Abbey, like every day of our lives here, which with me, very little success, but at least a few times a month, on how to rejoice. But this complacent, complaining mind that's so sneaky and puts me on such automatic that that's what I think is really what's true and what I'm noticing and what I'm being aware of. And so today I wanted to have this pep talk with myself because I want to increase my humility, my gratitude, and lower this complaining and this autopilot, complacent, bored mind that I have. And I figured that today was as good as any other day to be able to talk about this. I wanted to encourage myself to bow down to all the blessings, all the good fortune, all the rarity, all the abundance that I have in my mind, in my life, which sometimes I just don't see. Even here, living in this incredible place with this incredible teacher, with this wonderful community, having these beautiful robes, being able to practice the Dharma all the time, is I fall into this space that thinks that this is just, every day. It just kind of shows up on my lap, that I haven't created any causes and conditions, that there's nobody else involved, and that I'm kind of just zoned out, spaced out, and just sort of wandered away from my life. And that, and then what happens, what does shake me up is when I start reading and hearing about the news. And I keep hearing about this incredible poverty and illiteracy and oppression and lack of freedom and religion and speech. I mean, it shakes me, but it doesn't like propel me into turning my mind. It's like Katja said the other day, it's like the self-centered thought has taken my mind hostage, and to turn it to where I might think that there's something special and amazing about this life is like turning this old clunky ship around in the opposite direction. And I haven't noticed this until I saw that I was going to do the BBC today, that I have been sitting with this mind, sprinkled with some kind thoughts and some virtuous thoughts, but there's been a lot of like settling into this same old, what's new, no big deal, life on neutral. And so what I wanted to do is give this little self-centered thought a kick in the pants, and to transform these little complaints and this complacency into a mind of virtue. And it's not like, it's like I can take the very same experience and turn it into something really profound and really helpful for my mind to develop my good qualities and to develop bodhicitta. Okay, so when I get into this part that's complaining, oh man, who left the orange juice, a half a cup of orange juice and rice again, is that I think about the kindness of the people, that not only do I have food on the table here, and when I see, a little bit of thinning on my socks, or I have my robes because I never change them even when I'm working, is that they're getting kind of tattered, is that if it wasn't due to the kindness of other people, I would not have a roof over my head, I would not have this delicious, nutritious food, and I wouldn't have the clothing that I have. And then to sort of put a foundation underneath that is saying, for many previous lives, I have cultivated some kind of virtue, some kind of practice of generosity, that I'm now being the recipient of some other being, whoever I was, that now I'm being able to experience that. And if I don't hold it with a kind of deep appreciation and humility, that those ripening seeds are going to happen, and that's going to be it. Forget about creating the causes and conditions for that to happen in the future. Then I think about the rain. Well, instead of bombs and bullets raining over my head, I just have rain, which is nourishing the trees, it's filling up our aquifer, so we won't struggle with forest fires and drought. And that is also because maybe I've practiced a little bit of fortitude and ethical conduct in my previous life that gives me the opportunity to live in such a beautiful place. You know, can you see how just taking something that's autopilot and not even in the zone is to look at it and see it as a beautiful, precious treasure? I have one that sometimes I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do what I want. I don't have enough time to do what I'm asked. And what I do is I say to myself, and this was, you know, this is one I have to say a lot, is I get to benefit others with my time at the Abbey due to my efforts to cultivate bodhicitta in the past. And whatever I get done with that motivation today is good enough. To just take that mind that's just bickering and nitpicking about, you know, what else would I rather be doing? You know? And then there's one that, the mind that goes, anytime I get any kind of feedback, anytime I get any kind of criticism, it's this defensive kind of, I was only trying to help, what do they think? And is that to see criticism that I receive from someone or feedback as a gift. They're showing me that I've got a few buttons still to deal with that are getting pushed, and that they're also giving me a big mirror to see this big old self that I keep grasping at. You know, so instead of getting into that mind that struggles with that, is to see it as a gift. And then the last one, which I am sometimes so embarrassed about when I can call myself on it, is the complacency about the access to the Dharma that we have here. You know, we have certain days of the week where we get to do nonviolent communication. We have these incredible teachings by Jeffrey Hopkins. We've got Chenrezig practice, monastic training. We're doing Thursday night teaching, we're sharing the Dharma. Our whole life here is this opportunity to practice and transform our minds. And I get into this either this mind of it's inconvenient, or a mind that says, oh, another Skype call from Jeffrey Hopkins from Taiwan. I wonder what he's going to say tonight. Maybe he's going to make me laugh. It's like, oh my God, Semke. Do you know how many billions of beings are not in this place right now receiving these precious teachings? And it's not just, it's because you've created the causes, because you made aspirations over and over and over again in your previous lives to have qualified Mahayana teachers and to be able to have access to them and to be able to have some curiosity and interest. So let's get some curiosity, some interest going here. But it's all about the self-centered thought. You know, sabotaging and hijacking this beautiful life that I have and trivializing it and making it small and picayune and insignificant. And it's like, oh my gosh. So for me, that's what Thanksgiving is about today, is bowing deeply in humility for the wonder of this life, the wonder of this practice, the wonder of these teachings, the wonder of this place, this wonder of my friends, my community. And then I was thinking, it said, for many of us who live and practice, especially in the West, our major difficulty is not lack of food or clean water or sanitation or homelessness or oppression or some disabling condition or no access to the Dharma. Our major difficulty is our own minds and this crazy self-centered thought that is never happy, never content, never thankful. Everything else for us, for me, I can only speak for myself in this moment, everything else is taken care of. All I have to do, all I want to do is to practice the Dharma. And this could change at any moment. I could lose it all in any moment. But right now I have no other concerns but to cultivate my good qualities and to learn to abandon and to discern which ones are useless have no servant, nobody, especially sentient beings. So working on our minds and supporting each other is the only thing on our plate today. So I'm going to send my self-centered thought to the showers, maybe have them do a few laps around the Bodhisattva loop all afternoon, and look at all the wonder and the rarity of this life with some joy and humility and thanks. So every once in a while we have to give our mind a good talking to. You know, it just needs a good talking to. We are so fortunate. I count my blessings and work on having a happy, humble mind that wants to repay the extraordinary kindness, the extraordinary good fortune, this amazing good fortune by helping others. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving.